Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Living United with Nashua Business. This is a TV show that we do periodically where we talk with local businesses who are giving back generously in the philanthropic space, learn a little bit more about what they do, how they do it, and what motivates them to be such great community partners. So I'm really excited today to be here with Michael Brooks. Michael Brooks
Hey,
is a friend of mine from a local company called The Mad Junk Man.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping we can not talk about that. But how you doing today anyway, by the way?
I'm doing great.
Doing great?
Beautiful day out.
Oh,
nice
it is.
Weekend.
It was a nice weekend. I have to say, well, we were just before we talked, I was, talking a little bit about football. It's that season. I've decided that Sunday is not my day, not this year.
Not this year, yeah.
But who knows? Maybe next year. I'm always hopeful, right?
Yeah, it's always next year. There's always next year.
We call ourselves the 49ers faithful. And I have been doing that for 25 years now, so it's another decade, right?
Good for you.
Anyway, so listen, the Mad Junk Man, this is a name which you're a relatively new business, right?
It is.
So tell us about that.
Well, as you know through our past conversations, I owned a household moving company called Michael Brooks Moving.
Up in Merrimack, right?
In Merrimack, yep. We started in Nashua way back.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, back in 1983. We're down here in the mill buildings.
Okay.
So I ran that for 41 years.
Yeah.
And I had a local family in Merrimack that approached me to buy me out.
All right.
They own other logistic type companies, so they thought it was a good fit, and it was a good time for me because I was done being a mover.
So you probably thought, I'm just going to retire now, take it easy, go fishing.
I don't fish, but
play golf.
I don't play golf.
Oh, well, okay, so
I move heavy things.
Striking out. So you wanted to do that, and you decided you needed to do that, right? So you started this new company.
I started a new company. It's called The Mad Junk Man, and MAD stands for Manage and Dispose.
So it's an acronym. Manage and Dispose.
Manage and Dispose.
It's not just like the crazy kooky doo junk man.
The crazy man.
Okay.
No, and I'm not mad. I'm very glad.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
Very good. And so you're located also in Merrimack or in Nashua or the whole region?
Well, the business, the Mad Junk Man, is located in Merrimack, and I service all of southern New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Been heading up more, a little past Concord lately, and I've had a few inquiries down in Massachusetts, just over the line. So the reach is within 15, 20 miles max. It's probably a good radius for me.
Fair to say it's light moving and household cleanouts.
Mostly what I'm emphasizing on is I'll go and pick up an old washer for you or an old refrigerator.
We'll talk about that.
But yes, we have one coming for you, right?
Yeah, you do.
So I'll do that, but my main goal is to work with people that have accumulated a lot of things in their garage, their attics, their basements. As they get older, some people's homes turn into a storage unit for their relatives and kids and things. So
that is true.
At some point, these things need to get organized and out. Whether it's through estate sales, which is something that I also do. I'll organize an estate sale at your home for you.
Yep.
And try to get rid of some of these things.
And you just did one of those recently, right?
I've done 3 in the past couple months now. Yeah, I did one in Nashua, over in Hudson, and over in Manchester. Estate sales went really well.
So talk to me about how that works. I mean, somebody passes away, and the whoever is the administrator of the estate, maybe it's the kids, maybe it's a relative or a friend, or maybe their attorney, would contact you.
Yep.
And you would then, how would that work?
So, example, the one I just did in Nashua.
Yeah.
I went and visited with the relatives, went through the entire house. There was a lot of stuff that was not saleable, so we're just going to call that junk. So I sift through all the junk, and I just get rid of that, and now we're down to what the saleable items are. So the saleable items in the home should or could, hopefully, offset the cost for me to take everything away, the junk and such. So we'll do a couple days sale, a Saturday and a Sunday, or maybe a Friday, Saturday and Sunday, depending on how big of a project that it is. And then we'll split the proceeds and get everything cleaned out. So the house can either be go on the market or ready for some rehab or whatever is going to happen to the house.
So I'm sure as somebody who's had relatives who've passed away, and I've had to administer several estates, that's probably a great relief. There's a lot of, it's emotionally draining to clean out somebody's place, especially if you're, a close relative, close friend, kids. So you help to also kind of make that a little bit easier.
It's going to make it a lot easier, for yourself going through various rooms and doors and drawers and closets of things.
Yeah.
You get kind of lost in memories and the fact that, you could spend all day in a room just going, I remember this and I remember that. And so I'm a robot. We're robots. We're just going to go in there. And I've been doing moving for such a long time, and I can pretty much, assess a situation within a room of what is saleable, what is donatable, and what is junk.
Yeah. How do you find out about these opportunities? Is this normally through like attorneys, estate attorneys, or who comes to you with these sort of opportunities?
It's a variety of things. As you know, I belong to a networking group, BNI in Nashua. So I get a lot of referrals off of that. But my tried and true has been all the real estate agents that I've known for over the years.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Real estate agents would be some of the first people to know when there's something going on.
They do. And I had developed a very good reputation in the household moving industry. And I just reached out to a bunch of the heavier hitters in the industry that I know. And they have supported me, referring people over to me for all kinds of things. Again, it could be just a washer or dryer or refrigerator, but there's a lot of situations where whole house needs to be cleaned out to get it ready for
they want to put it on the market, and so they need to get it cleaned out, then painted, staged, all of that stuff so that it can fetch the best price for whoever has inherited it.
The real estate market has changed quite a bit in the last year.
Yeah.
There was a few years there where it was like, you'd have multiple offers on one home. And,
right.
Nowadays, homes are taking a little bit longer to sell.
Yeah.
Price has been decreasing a little bit. The interest rates are a little bit higher. So you want to showcase the house as best as you possibly can.
Put your best foot forward.
Absolutely. And I can work with stagers too on how to, leave certain things in certain rooms to stage it up so it looks nice for potential buyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to ever retire from moving heavy things around, Mike?
I feel good. I feel really good.
Yeah. It's good exercise,
It's really good exercise, and I have technique. I've got skill in it. I have a series of guys I can pull from when I need them. A lot of the stuff I do on my own, believe it or not.
And you know the community.
I do know the community very well. I've lived here pretty much my entire life, and I was, moved to Nashua when I was, I think, 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I went to all the Catholic schools here in town, and we did move away for a year. Then we moved back to Nashua for senior year.
Yeah. So you weren't born here though?
No, I was actually born in Florida on an Air Force base called
okay.
Eglin Air Force Base.
Military family.
We were, Mom and Dad.
Moved around a bit, imagine, before that?
What's that?
Moved around before that a little bit, or?
We did move around within Nashua a lot.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a few things.
Yeah.
My mom was, she had passed away recently, but she was an accountant here in Nashua on Main Street.
Yeah.
She did a lot of work with the Stabile Company, Stamposies.
Yeah.
So, we knew a lot of people in town, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now, one of the things I also wanted to highlight with you, Mike, is some of the ways in which you also support the community and give back. I know that in previous conversations, you've also told me about when you have a clean out that you like to also not just throw stuff away, but also help find ways to, donate it so that it is put back into good use. And I'm sure that the person who maybe is taking, whose stuff you're taking off their hands would appreciate that. It's good for the world, it's good for the environment, and it's also good for the community. So tell me a little bit about how that works.
Well, there's a variety of charitable organizations out there, as you are quite aware of, that I'm able to get certain things to. Certain things there's no one's going to take it. They're not going to take an old mattress
That's
or
for
an upholstered
sure.
couch.
Yep.
But dishes, pots and pans, some clothing articles, camping gear, medical equipment, walkers.
Durable medical equipment is in high demand,
Yes.
always.
So I bring that over to a place over in Derry that I know of.
The Loaner's Closet.
The Loaner's Closet.
Yep.
Yeah, they're great.
They are.
They are great, and it's such a nice organization. It's very neat and clean and organized.
My wife used to work with them quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
When she worked with seniors as a social worker and a case manager.
Yep.
And all the time she would go to Loaner's Closet and get a wheelchair, a walker, a commode, or all those types of things. And they do a great job over there.
I've donated quite a few wheelchairs, walkers, just all kinds of things over there. So I don't want to just throw things away or scrap it for whatever.
Right.
I want to get things to other places. So I'll take pictures prior to when I start the process and send them out to different places. There's a VA place in Salem that I've been able to get some furnishings to.
Yep.
And the Grey Nuns.
Grey Nuns, the Home Starter program over in Amherst.
You had referred me over when we had a meeting a little while ago about some neat organizations. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to capture that one yet, but it's on my list.
I'm sure it is.
So absolutely, that's my main thing is I want to get these things to charitable organizations instead of throwing it away.
Absolutely, and it takes people like yourself to make that happen. I mean, oftentimes, I'll hear people that'll reach out and say, "Oh, I have this old whatever in great condition, but I can't move it." So it takes you as that middle person who's kind of in this business to make that happen.
Yeah. Absolutely. I try to, utilize my time efficiently. So, as far as like metal items go, I just bring it over to recycling centers to have it recycled.
Yeah, of course.
I don't chase metal. Some companies chase metal to make a few dollars off of it.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there are people that specialize in that stuff too.
Yeah.
Speaking of helping out organizations, I just wanted to express some gratitude to you. Recently we were the recipients of a nice generous donation from Home Depot for a new refrigerator and freezer for our offices.
Yeah.
The old one sort of died, and because it has been there a very long time.
Was it a Maytag?
I don't know what it is, actually. It's downstairs, and it is old.
Yeah.
But Roy and the crew over at Home Depot were nice enough to donate a new one, and you were great, able to pick it up and bring it over and just help make it happen. So thank you for that.
No problem. I got to get that. So you got the new one all set up in the kitchen.
Nope.
What?
Not yet. It's still, well, no, I was going to let the old one go out and then I'll move the new one.
Oh, I'll be over this week.
I'm not really, I don't use that refrigerator, so it's not as high of a priority for me as it is for other people.
Oh, I see.
I probably should care more.
Yes,
but,
for your fellow man.
My fellow man, my fellow employees, but they haven't squawked real loud lately, so...
they were talking about it when I was there today.
Oh, I'm sure they
asked me, when are you coming back?
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And also, you're one of our Small Business United sponsor partners, so thank you for that too.
Oh my God, yes. Anything I can do to help out, anything I can do anytime.
So what is the future of the Mad Junk Man looking like?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. So this is the first year of it, and it's been very...
You're so busy for their first year in business. I mean, obviously, you're in a unique situation. You hit the ground running because you have a lot of contacts and a lot of expertise in the area. So,
So where's the future? I don't know. I'm going to build it up for at least the next 4 more years. So I gave him a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
And then I'll take a look at it. And maybe I find a young entrepreneur that I can help out. Carry a torch over and kind of go from there. My end goal, I guess, is to. I built a house up in the mountains. Up in Jefferson,
Jefferson is that up near Lincoln? That area?
Well, Lincoln is exit 32. I'm off exit 35. So you know where Santa's Village is? Have you ever heard of Santa's Village? So it's right down the road from Santa's Village.
Yeah.
So it's a nice spot.
That's cool.
I'm going to be renting it out as an Airbnb.
Yep.
For this coming year, and dedicate my time more to this, the junk removal.
So it's pretty unusual to find somebody who was born in Florida who wants to retire to the snow. It's usually the other way around.
You know what? I'm New Hampshire. I really am.
I love it.
I don't mind the snow at all. Some people say, oh my God, I wouldn't want to live in the snow or be anywhere. I hate the cold. Then go live in Florida with the hurricanes.
Yeah, I know. You can't trade this.
No way.
I wouldn't trade it.
No way.
You know, it's amazing here.
Yeah, we got the foliage. We've got the seasons, the good summers. We got a beach. We got mountains, lakes.
Don't tell too many people. I like it. I like. Let's let them stay where they are and enjoy their lives and not know about it here.
Well, we want people to visit our beautiful state.
Maybe occasionally.
Yeah. Southern New Hampshire has just become so busy.
It really has. It really has. It's grown so much, and it's some of it's proximity, right? Proximity to Boston, proximity to the Massachusetts border, but some of it's also just a great place to live, honestly.
Are you from New Hampshire?
Originally?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
A long, circuitous route. I was born in upstate New York, lived first couple of years of my life in Wisconsin, then a couple of years in New Jersey, but mostly I grew up in California. So my wife and I moved here about to the East Coast about 35 years ago.
Well, that's a pretty good stretch.
Yeah, I mean, we've lived here longer than anywhere else.
Exactly.
And honestly, I have no intentions of going anywhere else.
What do you like the most about New Hampshire?
What I like is not just about New Hampshire, it's New Englanders in general. I like New Englanders. I like the personality of New Englanders. I find them to be kind-hearted under a kind of a crusty exterior.
You got to crack that.
Yeah, and I love that. I really like the crotchety old do-it-yourself, can do but help your neighbor spirit.
Okay.
And lived on other places where it's, maybe a little bit more, it feels friendlier, but it's a little more superficial.
Yeah.
Or different types of, just personality I really enjoy a lot. I used to really like when my wife and I lived in Brookline, before we moved to Nashua, we were involved kind of with local politics, and I loved going to like town meeting, staying, sitting with your neighbors till 2 a.m, arguing about local politics. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's so different than anything that I grew up around in California. I obviously love the seasons and the variety of different outside opportunities here.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. See, I'm a big snowmobiler. I love snowmobiling.
I have never been on a snowmobile.
Oh, you got to come up.
I have never been on a snowmobile. Yeah. We gravitate more towards liquid water.
Yes, scuba diving.
But I love the snow too. And you can tell that I grew up in the town I grew up in California that has never had snow.
Okay.
And it has a recorded history that goes back thousands of years because the Chumash Indian are from that area. Never has it snowed. So when I see the first snowfall, I'm just like a little kid. I stand at the window, I go outside, I look around, I'm just amazed. Honestly, it's magic.
That first snowstorm of the season, when you have all the snow sticking to the trees and how picturesque it is, it's beautiful.
It never gets old for me.
No.
My wife grew up in Germany, so she grew up around snow, and she doesn't feel that same sense of magic, let's just say, and would really actually rather be somewhere in the Caribbean. So
I think there was a time I was probably thinking that too, but obviously I've lived here for a very long time, and I just love New Hampshire, love everything about it.
So you're looking at some point to move up north and live in the mountains.
Yeah, but what to do? What to do up there?
Read, hike. I don't know.
I've hiked a lot of the 4,000 footers. Have you?
I have. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I love hiking here. Yeah. Hiking here is amazing.
How many 4,000 footers?
A half dozen.
Half dozen. Okay.
Not that many, but I'd like to do a lot more and really love it. And I like backpacking as well.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun too.
Yeah. So Mad Junk Man. And so this is your first year and successful,
Yep.
growing,
Growing.
and looking 5 years down the road, maybe exiting the business in some way if the opportunity arises. And between now and then, focusing on estate sales and that type of thing.
Estate sales, clean outs, organize, help you get things organized in that garage. Winter's coming.
Yeah.
Would love to help you get that, garage space back to get your at least a vehicle back in there, if not two. Attics, clean them out. It's a good time to, especially right after the holidays, start thinking about, making some better room in your home and downsizing a little bit of the amount of inventory that you have in your home.
Now, are you working with businesses as well? Doing much commercial work?
I've been working with Chris Bendizia.
Oh, sure, from Shaheen and Gordon.
Yeah, so I've been working with him on an office clean out. I've been over there to his old office building in Manchester probably 4 times now, just getting stuff cleared out.
Yeah.
The building's under contract, going to be, closing soon. So that's one of the bigger projects that I've had for commercial. But I've had some, a few tidbits here and there, mostly attorneys.
Yeah, because one of the things I know that is a trend, and we're seeing more and more of, is, this combination of traditional office space not being as at a premium because there's so much remote work and people on hybrid schedules and that kind of thing. So this business is not being as much office space.
Right.
And at the same time, that really intense need for housing. So there are people that, if the zoning allows it, that are kind of converting office space into, say, condo space.
That's what Brady and Sullivan are doing, right?
1000 Elm Street in Manchester has gone from being pure commercial to being mostly residential.
Right. Yeah. You see the bank on Main Street, the old Indian Head Bank.
Yeah,
that's all condos now.
Yep.
So imagine that.
On Factory Street, the old, not Factory Street, right by Franklin Street.
Franklin.
The old printing, it was a printing operation at one point, is now a Brady Sullivan property.
Yeah.
Right next to the Bonhoeffers there.
Bonhoeffers, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a lot of that. I can imagine that also is an opportunity for you in your line of business.
Absolutely. All these little things, big things are opportunities. Plenty of opportunity out there. It's just getting, keeping up with the Joneses as much as I can.
Yeah.
I pride myself on just doing really good work, being open, honest, reliable, accountable.
So there are a lot of people that are competitors in your space.
I had no idea.
And it's big names that we know, but there's also lots of local names. Like there's 1-800-GOT-JUNK and all of those people.
Yeah.
What would you say is your magic secret? What's your secret sauce to being successful or wanting to be successful in that space?
That's a really good question. When I started the junk removal business, I knew of the 1-800-GOT-JUNK and whoever else, the bigger companies. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars on advertising on radio and TV and such. So I can't compete against that, and I really don't want to.
Right.
Why would I want to? I just want to be.
Yeah, that's not the same business, really.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's kind of is, but it also really isn't when you look underneath the hood.
I just think, with the 40 years plus of business experience that I have, I do things right, by the books. I don't hide anything.
Yeah.
I like to answer my phone, return an email quick.
Well, I got to tell you, that's half the battle, right? Being the person who calls back.
It's not
shocking,
even,
right?
It's not even calling back, it's answering your phone. You can call any business nowadays.
Yeah.
And you're going to press 1 for this and 2 for that, and a recording, leave a message.
Right.
Or chat rooms on different websites. You're talking to AI now.
Yeah.
But I like to pick up my phone, answer it with a nice greeting,
Yep.
and listen to what you need done.
And just be Mike and say, how can I help you?
Exactly.
I think that is honestly such a potent secret weapon.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it's hard to compete with a person who actually genuinely cares and is honest and sincere in the way they approach their business.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
That's how I want to be. It's how I was taught, and that's how I've always been. Answer my phone. But I know in today's, world, people send out emails like they're sending a text message.
Yeah.
Or it's just so much easier for them to, send a text message or an email instead of calling someone.
I have shared that with one of my colleagues a couple of times and said, an email is not communication. Don't count it. You cannot count that as communication. If you haven't picked up the phone or gone for a visit, it just hasn't happened in my book.
Yeah.
So
how old are you now?
It's so old that I realize how old that sounds. I'm 59. How about yourself?
I'm 59 too.
Oh, there you go. When's your birthday?
November.
So June. So I'll be 60 before you.
No,
you'll be 60
I'll
before
be 60
me.
before you.
We'll celebrate together.
Yeah.
Listen, Mike, I want to thank you for coming on today, being such a great supporter in our community. I've learned so much about your business, and I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come in.
Absolutely. Listen, I brought you a gift. I always tell people when you come on the United Way show, you always get a gift, but it's never a great one. But this is your gift from United Way. Thank you for joining me today.
I have one of these already.
Oh, this one?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll have to give you a different one. Now you have two.
And I got a T-shirt, too.
Well, like I said, you're never going to get a great gift. It's probably going to be the same one.
So when I picked up the refrigerator and I brought it downstairs
They gave you one.
They gave me a T-shirt. They gave my Colton a T-shirt. They gave us each a hat.
I love it. Very good.
I don't wear hats much because I like my bald head.
Oh, yeah. Well, then give it to a friend. Give it to your customers. I don't care. Anyway, Mike, thank you so much again. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me over, man.
Well, listen, you guys have been all listening to another episode of Living United with Nashua Business. This has been Michael Brooks from the Mad Junk Man, and I hope you've enjoyed it and look forward to speaking with you again soon.